The Eiffel Tower was completed in 1889 for the Universal Exposition in Paris. The goal was to amaze the entire world with what would be the tallest tower in the world at the time, over 300 meters tall, made up of 4 huge lattice girders widened at the base and joined at the top, a truly incredible engineering feat, a symbol of modernity and technological advancement of the time. Welcome to your daily dose of enlightenment. You've landed on Knowledge Planet, where curiosity thrives and the enigmatic is revealed daily. We delve into a variety of topics to amaze you. Let's back to our topic. Of course, to see the light of day, it required not only excellent engineers and architects, but also suitable material. It needed extremely resistant yet ductile and lightweight material. And what's better than iron? Indeed. However, iron, like many other metals, is subject to corrosion. The head of the project said, "Identifying and stopping the spread of rust is the greatest challenge for its longevity." Rust is not just a mere aesthetic problem, but can, in extreme cases, lead to the collapse of the structure. So the question arises, why is the Eiffel Tower still standing after more than a century? As banal as it may sound, the secret of its longevity lies in maintenance. The only solution to keep rust away from the tower is meticulous maintenance. Every 7 years, approximately, a specialized team of painters engages in the daunting task of painting hundreds of meters of iron beams, both then and now, with anti-rust paint. This practice is rigorously carried out by hand. In the first phase, the existing paint is scraped away, then the surface is thoroughly cleaned, and finally, the anti-rust paint is applied. This compound is spread over the entire metal surface, forming a thin layer that isolates the tower from atmospheric moisture, thus slowing down rusting. It takes 60 tons of paint and 15 to 18 months to complete the entire process, during which the tower remains open to visitors. So it might happen that when we visit the Eiffel Tower, we come across a team of painters hanging from the metal beams, meticulously painting every corner of the tower. At least, that's what should happen under normal conditions. Unfortunately, due to the COVID emergency and other delays, the maintenance of the Eiffel Tower has been stopped for several years. Recently, there was news, perhaps you know, of a strike called by the tower's employees who blocked access to the monument. The reason? Poor maintenance. They denounce a situation never seen before. There are rust stains, widespread cracks, and malfunctioning elevators and hoists. So if the initial question of the video was, why doesn't the Eiffel Tower rust? Well, the truth is that it does rust, if not taken care of, and if a punctual maintenance regime is not followed, this tower, obviously, can weaken. Now, why is rust such a big problem? And how does the rusting process work exactly? I think it's time to call upon chemistry for this little aside. So the reaction that transforms iron into rust is a reaction in which the iron donates some of its electrons to the oxygen in the air. Thus, we have an electron transfer from iron to oxygen. When there's an electron transfer from one chemical species to another, it's called an oxidation-reduction reaction. The one donating the electrons oxidizes, which is the iron in this case, and the one receiving the electrons reduces, which is oxygen. Now, to make this electron transfer happen, water is needed. Water from rain or even just humidity in the air is sufficient. So what happens when iron comes into contact with moisture? The iron loses its electrons to the oxygen molecules, transforming mainly into ferric oxide and ferric hydroxide, i.e. rust. However, there are 2 problems. The first is that the oxygen in the air can penetrate even into the micro cracks of the iron, and the second is that when rust forms, it expands. So when moisture and oxygen penetrate into the pores and micro cracks, rust forms from the inside, expanding and forming cracks. These cracks expose more iron to moisture, and consequently more rust will form, which in turn will expand. In short, it's a vicious circle. In simpler terms, it's as if rust were eating away at the iron. But don't think that iron is the only metal that oxidizes. In reality, it happens to almost all metals, except for the so-called noble metals, which are noble precisely because they don't oxidize. We're talking about particularly precious and valuable metals such as gold, silver, and platinum. Even copper, the material of which, for example, the Statue of Liberty is made, is subject to oxidation. Copper, in particular, when it oxidizes, forms a greenish patina on its surface. And indeed, what color is the Statue of Liberty? Green, exactly. However, before it oxidized, it was of a reddish copper color, the color of 2-cent coins, for example. And speaking of changing colors, we now take for granted that the Eiffel Tower has its typical brownish color, but in reality, over the years, it has had different colors. When it was built, it was Venetian red, then ochre yellow-brown, red-brown, and finally in '68, the current color was chosen. However, this color is not uniform throughout the surface. It is actually divided into 3 different shades, from the darkest at the base to the lightest at the top, to give the structure an additional impetus. These are the little details you discover when you study more deeply. But it doesn't end here. There was even a rumor that on the occasion of the 2024 Olympics, the tower would be painted with golden paint. But imagine, a golden lingot towering in the center of Paris. Wow, maybe a bit megalomaniac, let's admit it, but quite stylish. Unfortunately, however, there are only 5 months left until the start of the Olympics, and due to all the delays we've talked about, the work hasn't even started yet. That's why it's very likely that this sober, glittering proposal will never see the light. In short, guys, everything needs constant care and maintenance. Even those things that being symbols of modernity and technological advancement, we sometimes take for granted that they are perfect as they are. The difficulty of a great work is not its construction, but its maintenance, as the old sage said. With that said, guys, thank you so much for watching this video until the end. We'll see you in the next video, right here on Knowledge Planet, the power of knowledge. Don't forget to watch the previous episodes and stay tuned for the upcoming ones. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? Subscribe now. Consider us more than just a channel. We're a growing community, a family of knowledge seekers. We're on a mission, inviting you to join our growing family. We need you. Subscribe, become part of our community, share your thoughts, interact with us. A like or even dislike all count. Stay tuned, stay curious, and together we'll continue to explore the vast expanse of Knowledge Planet.